و اینا فعالیت بسیار منظم و منسجم دارند.
Within the military units, most officers and servicemen are faithful to their country and their people. They help the Mujahideen by sending them secret information. For example, when the government deploys a unit somewhere, the officers who are loyal to the Mujahideen pass over whatever information they can, such as the number of persons in the unit, the course, and place of deployment. Thus, the Mujahideen can get an advanced knowledge about what to expect and thereby prepare themselves either to defend or attack accordingly.
For the Soviet troops, explanations of their mission in Afghanistan are minimal and often confusing to the young recruits.
You understand that one of the important points of the Soviet invasion of Soviet troops anywhere is the lie of propagandas, of their propaganda. Right now, as we know from the prisoners of war in Afghanistan and from other sources, all the soldiers who sent to Afghanistan, in fact, don't know why they're sent over there.
Few Soviet soldiers are taken prisoner by the Mujahideen. These two were captured by the Hezb-e Islami of Gulbuddin. Yura Povranitsyn, a chemical scout analyst, was captured a month after he arrived in Afghanistan. Recently, a freelance journalist was able to interview Yura and his countryman, Muhammad Kuli, a Soviet Turkoman from a collective farm in the village of Bashir.
Soviet soldiers think that they are liberating Afghanistan from possible Chinese invaders.
We came to Afghanistan. The officers told us that we were sent by the Soviet government to Afghanistan to protect it from Chinese and American soldiers. As much as I have been around Afghanistan, as long as I have been here, I haven't met a single Chinese or American soldier.
The main thing is that this war is senseless. They should withdraw the army from Afghanistan.
What do Soviet soldiers here in Afghanistan think of this war?
Well, each thinks differently. One thinks that this is a senseless war, another supports it. But in reality, it is a senseless war. The Russian soldier has become a barbarian here. He becomes more and more brutal.
Some soldiers, especially those who go on reconnaissance, they rob homes, kill women, children, and rape them.
Yes, there was a case when soldiers went into a house, killed the father, an old man, killed the old mother, and raped a 13-year-old girl, and then killed her so that she wouldn't tell anyone.
خبر دارین که حکومت دست نشانده شوروی در افغانستان به صورت یک گودی و بازیچه است.
You are aware that the government in Kabul is first a puppet and toy of the Soviet Union. Therefore, all the actions performed within Kabul or Afghanistan are wholly directed by the KGB. But whatever they do, such as destroying, burning, killing, looting of the houses and villages in the countryside, they put the blame on the Mujahideen. In Kabul, the Afghan Secret Service and security police usually keep 15 or 20 Afghans under very severe inhuman conditions in small rooms, and they torture them by electric shocks, beatings, etc. It is difficult for me to describe all of what they do, and it would be hard for others to listen to such acts of savagery. For example, I know an Afghan compatriot who worked very hard for freedom of his beloved country. He was caught by the Afghan and Soviet officers, and they gave him so many electric shocks that half of his body was paralyzed.
آزادی افغانستان مبارزه میکرد. این به دست روسا و به دست مزدورای داخلی از این افتادک و این را از بس که برق دادن و شکنجه دادن یک دست و یک پای از این فلج شده.
Ordinary people are very much strongly opposing to this war. Much more than I expected, for example. And now I can understand why, I can assess why, because the majority of people realize that there is no whatsoever the national interest in Afghanistan for us. There are no the interests of that type. Moreover, the war is total waste. It costs us dearly, both in terms of resources and in terms of human lives. And there is no sense in this war whatsoever. That's an absolutely general feeling in the country. There are several examples of open political outbursts of feelings in Central Asia, in Kazakhstan last year, in some other areas against this war. Moreover, one of the very illustrative examples or indicators of this feeling is that since the last year, the Soviets stopped practice of sending the dead bodies in zinc coffins back to their homeland, because every time such coffin arrived to their native village or town, it sparkled up immediately the sort of demonstration of the population against this war. And because of that, this practice was stopped, and the corpses are buried now in Afghanistan.